This one is when to listen in class, and generally you should try and pay attention the whole time if you can stand the droning and the freeform jazz odyssey that is the stupidity of the Socratic method. Understanding that your attention is a limited thing, there are particular times that you should really closely pay attention in class. Generally, the most important times, I'm just reading this right off the screen, to listen in class are, and this is in order, the very last 10 minutes of class and then the first 10 minutes of class. So you want to know, why is that? Well, ignore this for a second. This is my line drawing of a class, and here is you or whoever is on call in the middle of class. And here's the professor at his lectern holding a wiffle bat, and he's all, oh, you haven't got a Socratic method, you are. I'm going to hit you with a bat. And this poor person, oh, don't hit me with the bat, don't hit me with the bat. But it's an interminable period where no matter what this guy says, the professor is going to have a random question. Tell me these facts. What happens here? What happens if these facts change? Does the holding change this fact? Should they have followed this case or this case or this case? Pretty soon it gets close to the end of class, and the professor has a realization like, oh my God, I've spent maybe 40 minutes wasting time with someone who has no idea what's going on, and I need to explain everything that was basically lost on this student to the rest of the class in a hurry. So the last 10 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, or even 2 minutes, this professor, this is the world's worst exclamation point, suddenly remembers, blah, he's just blurting out everything that was not said here. So what does that mean? The last 10 minutes are probably the hardest. You're just dying to leave this stupid class. But those are exactly the 10 minutes you should be paying attention. You shouldn't be packing up your bag. You should not be looking at the clock. And I did this as well. You should be listening very carefully, because that's exactly when the professor is likely to tell you what he really thinks this case is about and how it should be used. Now, you notice I have these first 10 minutes blocked out as well. Sometimes the professor is just kind of BSing with you, but sometimes these 10 minutes can be important because maybe this time runs out. I'm being really back to the future-ish about time here. But maybe in this last class, the professor didn't get to say everything that he wanted to about this part of the lecture. So he saves it for the first 10 minutes of the next class that you happen to be in. And so you want to be here and hear what the last class was actually all about, what that case was actually trying to say. So you want to always pay attention at the end, and then you want to try not to be late and be there at the beginning if your professor is the type to provide a recap of the previous class or to get in those points that he just never got in these 10 minutes here.